taqwa. Thus you find that Abu Dhar al-Khifari radiallahu anhu said to Bilal al-Habashi, said to him, you son of a black woman. Meaning today that doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much. You say to a person, your mother's black or your mother's white. It doesn't mean much. But what did the Prophet Muhammad say to him? Ya Abu Dhar fika al-jahiliyyah. Abu Dhar, you're an ignorant man. You're an ignorant man. How dare you make that comment about my beloved's companion who's with me, the one who used to give the adhan to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why hadith la fadl li arabi ala ajami wala ajami ala arabi wala abyad ala asfar ala asfar ala abyad aw kama qala sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Arab has no right over non-Arab, and non-Arab over an Arab, a white man over a black man over a white man, or a yellow individual. No, everyone's the same. Everyone is the same in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except for the person has that consciousness. So these are teachings that we need to remember, to remain focused. That most of us, we know these teachings, but we think that somehow at a later stage I return back to my life. No, one shouldn't think that. One should be wary that what if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give you the opportunity, and first Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise you up in a state of blindness. You say, Ya Rabb, why am I blind today? I could see in this dunya, why are you making me blind? The answer is given. Because in the dunya we showed you our signs, but you forgot our signs. You turned away from them, so today we're going to forget you. So that's what Islam is. That you forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes you forget your own soul. And lets you stray away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our task and our role, obviously is difficult to that struggle. That's why you find the reward is immense. What is the reward of a young person who controls their life? The reward is we mentioned inside the hadith. سَبْعَةٌ يُذِلُّهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي ذِلِّهِ يَوْمَ لَا ذِلَّ إِلَّا ذِلُّهُ. Seven will be under seven types of people who are under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whereby there will be no shade. Who are those seven people? Amongst them we find Imam Adil, the just Imam, and second we find Shabun Nasha'a fi ibadatillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. A young person who grew up worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not an old person. You know, an old person at the age of 50, 60 begins to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, begins to do good deeds. That is natural. Because the person knows I'm coming towards the end of my life. That's normal. If the person doesn't do that, they're senile. That's what we call the person is in majnoon, that the person is not submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a sign the person is mad. But as you get older, you begin to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more, you want to submit. The key element, the one who's under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the one who's a young man or a young woman who is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they are young. Likewise, the fourth or the fifth category mentions that a person is tempted by a beautiful woman of beauty and lineage. And what does that person say? He says, Inni akhafullah. That person says, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we know that in this society, we shouldn't hide about it. For them, many, zina, is adi. If you go into them and say, this is haram, ما يقول أنه haram. They don't say it's haram when they يشربون الخمر أو يأخذون المخدرات. Do they say it's haram? If you go to them, do you say to them it's a fitna? They don't say it's a fitna. What do they say to you? They say it's a way of life. Alcohol for them is a way of life. When a child is born, they drink. Even before the child is born, they're probably in a state of drunkenness. When the child is born, they pour alcohol upon him. When at the age of 13 or whatever, you can go into a pub but you can't drink. But at the age of 15, you can have your first glass and drink. They probably drink before they're at home. When the person dies, they pour alcohol upon him. And their funeral is alcohol. Every year, they throw upon his cover as well, throw alcohol upon them. That's their life. So they don't see it as a fitna. If you think that they see it as a fitna, they don't. Just like we drink tea, we drink qahwa, we drink it all day long. For them, likewise, they drink all day long. Part of their life. If you say to them, adultery is haram now, fornication is haram, what do you mean? It's normal. For them, it's a way of life. For them, it's a normal way of life. They don't mind. They don't see it as a fitna. But we should be able to recognize this is a fitna. And this is a trial, this is a tribulation, this is something that's going to take you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. Quran doesn't say, وَلَا تَفْعَلُوا الزِّنَا. Quran doesn't say, don't commit zina, don't do it. It says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا. Don't go anything that leads on to zina. And that's in the Sharia, you find what is known as Saddul Abwab, Saddul Dhari'a, closing the doors. If you study the maqasid of Sharia, the intent of Islamic law, it's not to benefit a Muslim, as what some of us may think. It's not there to benefit a Muslim. Maqasid of Sharia is to protect an individual. That's what the Sharia is. The Sharia protects any human being. That's you find the 5 elements of Sharia are based upon Hifdul Mal, Hifdul Deen, Hifdul Irq, Hifdul Nafs. It's based on Hifdul Aql, based upon protecting your mind, your wealth, your property, your religion, and your honor. Look at Islam. Anytime you make something halal, it benefits your mind, benefits your soul, benefits your deen, benefits your wealth. Anytime Islam makes something haram, it will destroy your mind, destroy your wealth, destroy your honor, destroy your dignity. That's how simple Islam is. You don't need to be a great big Islamic scholar or have a great big understanding of Islam. That's it, simple. This is what Islam is. Something basic and something elementary that we all need to remember. That's what you find. وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. Allah has not made any difficulty in the deen. Islam isn't hard. Islam is something, a-deen, yani, a-samha, al-hanafiyya. Islam is something easy, a pure deen. Something easy for a person to develop inside their life. But sometimes we've made it difficult. Most of the things are halal inside this world. Most things are halal. There's only a few things, muharramat, the person has to stay away from. If you stay away from them, the person is going to be successful. That's what we want to instill within the youth, within the shabab once again. That this is going to benefit you. You're going to be under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inside the akhirah whereby there will be no shade. And that's why another hadith, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَعْجَبُ مِنْ شَابٍ لَا صَبْوَةً لَهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala marvels at an individual, young individual who has لا صبوة. Ulama said صبوة بمعنى لا يميل إلى الهوى. A person doesn't go towards desires. Meaning, as Imam al-Mannawi, famous scholar, mentions, in an explanation of hadith, mentioned that this is هذا نادر. This is very, very rare that a young person is trying to stay away from temptations. So that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praising that individual. And that's when we go back into history, the mass amount of the companions, they were what? They were young individuals. They were young companions. الَّذِينَ اسْتَجَابُوا لِلَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. They answered the call of Allah and His Messenger. They were young individuals. They had temptations, they had desires. They were individuals who had desires. What made them so special? They overcame their desires. Look at many of the young companions, look at their ages. Look at Osama bin Zayd. Osama bin Zayd, the son of Zayd bin Haritha, the age of 20, he's been placed as the leader of an army. What are our 20-year-old boys doing today? What are they doing? Zipping around in probably fast cars or bringing them over to this country, going to 8-year-old, showing off their cars, whatever it may be. That's what they are. That's what their life has become, isn't it? That's what their life has become. That's it. Is that life? You really think that's life? Is zipping around the block again and again, showing your right to people? Is that what you? That shows how shallow you are. That shows how shallow. As we do this, our lands are being plundered. Okay, understand that. As we begin to live this type of lifestyle, our lands are being plundered. Our future is being plundered. You know, I don't want to name Muslim countries. I travel a number of Muslim countries. When I see the state of the youth, you know, and they've got no aql, mind, don't faham, wala aql, wala shay. You feel sad for them that this is what's happening to our future. This is what's happening about their future. That's all they know. And even the things that they're involved in, they don't really understand what they're doing. And one of the places where we was there once, and my brother was there once, and he decided to went into a Ferrari showroom. And he knew about Ferrari cars, and he's speaking to the man, and he said that, why have you got this model Ferrari there? You know that there's other models of Ferraris that are much better than this. He goes, these people, they only want model Jadid. They only want the latest model. They don't understand the techniques or the specification card. They just want what is Jadid. That's it. Whatever is the latest model, we want that in our life. And he goes, but we just sell it to them. We don't care. They've got the money. We take the money and we go. Finish. End of story. But that's what our life has become. Life has just become entertainment. Al-la'ib wal-lahu. Doesn't mean that we're against play and amusement. Play and amusement has its role. It has its role, but it doesn't mean أي شيء تجاوز حده أصبح ضده. Anytime you go beyond the bounds, then it becomes something forbidden. It becomes forbidden. Anything that's even halal, even drinking water is good. If you drink too much of water, it becomes what? Something haram, even if it's halal. So we should know the parameters of our life. We should know the parameters of what we want to gain. And as we mentioned, like some of the companions, young individuals, placed like Mu'adh ibn Jabal, أعلم هذه الأمة بالحلال والحرام. The young boy is the most knowledgeable about halal and haram. How many of our young boys want to become fuqaha today? How many want to become ulama today? They say, well, look at this mutawwa', look at this religious cleric, look at this imam. We don't want these people. They stop our happiness, they stop this, they stop that. Who said that? We're not here to stop anything of your life. We're not here to stop your life. We're here to try to encourage you to come towards a good life. To see that benefit that you find. So that's what the real understanding is encouraging people to come towards goodness and to come towards the life. Come towards a goodness that will help them inside the dunya, likewise inside the akhirah as well. So that is what we should begin to focus on our lives, focus on serving our community, serving firstly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then serving the Prophet Muhammad, meaning living our life according to Sunnah, serving our parents, serving the wider Muslim community, benefiting them, benefiting our own selves, even benefiting the non-Muslims as well. Look at many companions, they benefited everybody around them. You find, as we mentioned, Imam Nawawi, the age of 10. At the age of 10, في طلب العلم. Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Imam Ahmad, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Malik. Read about all these great ulama. Do you really think that they spend most of the time the things that we're doing? There's a lot of barakah in their time. Doesn't mean that we should all give up the dunya. I'm saying that at least we should begin to focus upon that, focusing upon the right sciences that will benefit us, that it will have a positive impact upon our own souls and the wider community.